I may have, but wait, I mean, the numbers, I'm off the top of my head, I'm just thinking.
My number, so like since I say 2.5% of me, 2.5 out of 5.
Out of 5, that's like
That's
50%.
50%.
I mean, it's
50% of me is YouTuber. Every time I meet people, I say I'm a YouTuber.
Acha?
Yeah.
When did you start saying that?
Yeah, ever since all the money that I make
Started
comes from
coming in.
YouTube, I went like that's the
But there must have been a crossover when you were like, okay, now I'm making more than I'm here than I was making with something else, right?
So I was making jingles and I was a filmmaker, musician, guy, right?
And jingles and
shit.
commercial kaam, sara itna kuch
Yeah.
kar rahe the tum. You
Yeah.
were doing a buttload of stuff.
But then I didn't enjoy it. So when I enjoyed YouTube and it also started paying my bills. So then I started calling myself a YouTuber. Now if the views drop, are you a YouTuber?
Are you still a YouTuber?
Your
Are you
views
still a
are
valid YouTuber?
So I kind of, my self-worth, I just kind of feel depressed.
Sure, shrivel up a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's like the up and down of any business, right?
Yeah.
Any business is doing great. You're like, I'm the king of the world. Business not doing so well. Oh, and then it's like a reflection of you somehow reflects poorly on your.
So if you make a song.
Yeah. And
or if
no
you
one
play a
listens to it.
guitar solo. So this would, we go from
cool.
guitar solo
Okay,
to song.
fair enough.
So how much of you is a guitarist?
How much of me is a guitarist? We baat kar rahe the. I think I may have overstated it as well. Out of 5, I don't think so. I don't think it's 1 out of 5. That was the number I threw out. So if I'm 5 things, father, husband, lover, comedian, freaking whatever, जो भी दिमाग में अपने जो मेरी perceptions हैं अपने आप के ऊपर, उसमें से I think 1/10 is a guitar player. No, maybe I'm underselling it now. Obviously, लेकिन देखें it's a huge part of what I do as well right now, because it's my business as well right now.
Yeah.
So that's a difference.
Then the producer aspect.
Then it becomes more important because it's your business, right? But still, an aspect of my personality-wise, I think, before I made it my business, I subconsciously or consciously, I don't know, I think I may have actually consciously decided that I didn't want to find a wife or a girlfriend or something that was a fan of my playing as such. That was an important aspect of it.
Why would
in fact, I went, I think, the opposite way, and I found someone who doesn't necessarily really like music all that much.
Yeah.
But because I needed, I think what I was going through, and I think I still go, I'm always looking to balance myself out, because I'm flighty. And I'm a creative soul, but I'm also like, I'm like a balloon. I'll just float away. अगर मुझे कोई tether नहीं रखता कहीं.
But does society, the people that you meet, they also give you a reflection of who you are?
Sure.
So अगर वो लोग कहते हैं कि Omran, great guitarist. If general, अगर कोई आप great guitarist, great musician,
I think
great producer.
it felt nice
So
the first time I heard it maybe.
Yeah.
But subsequently and consequently, my immediate thought is, I wish that could pay my bills, bitch. Is what I think. Some of the other great guitarists are like, so what? I mean, how does that affect my life in any way?
It pays your bills.
It pays. This is pre thing, and then or sometimes even now. I mean, it pays the bills. I wish it paid my bills better. Just being a great guitar player doesn't enable you to make money in anything. I think you have to be. The other qualities also then come into play.
Yeah.
I think patience is a guitar playing, in my opinion, a virtue, right? It's a virtue. I think it's a virtuous thing. Playing guitar, maybe somehow providing some sort of comfort to people or having some sort of enjoyment, apart from my own selfish guitar playing aside, I mean, if someone hears it and enjoys it, that's a satisfaction. I mean, that's a great part of being a guitar player or a musician or a creator person, right? The response you get that, what you did there was inspirational, or what you did there freaking made me laugh the whole night long. I mean, that's validation yet again. But I think if someone says, you were thank you for being so patient with me.
Acha, you value that?
I value someone saying that to me.
Oh, wow. That's a really good quality, huh?
Just as much as I would say, okay, well, it's the same thing. I'm providing I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Something good. You know,
because since
guitar
I meet
playing,
you,
there's a selfish aspect to it as well.
Yeah.
But being patient with someone else is a purely an altruistic thing. So I mean, I think it's even held in more higher regard. I mean, being a good person.
Since I meet you less as a guitar player than as a person,
generally,
generally,
right?
So I forget how great you are, and then every now and then I'll be attending an event and I'll see, oh, Momo's on stage, and then I'll go, holy shit, I forgot. Holy shit, sir. Then it becomes like it's no longer friend, it's like sir.
But see now, I would much rather that you forget that awkwardness that comes in, because then if you say sir, then I can't just have a normal conversation like we are right now, you know.
Yeah.
It becomes harder. I think I would rather people just act, you know, I mean,
some people play that enigmatic sort of cryptic guitar player, like they don't talk, they're like, ये अब इसको यही पता है ना, तो इस पे impression रहेगी और मैं सर ही रहूँगा.
Yeah, I mean, that's a, देखो, you meet your idols, you meet your heroes, and you realize
they're people.
They're just regular people, and you might not even like that person. I mean,
yeah.
And I think it's also important to be able to. Someone recently said that to me, was like, I don't like the person, but I have to respect the talent.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Especially with all these artists.
Dude, I don't have to like Woody Allen, but
yeah.
I have to respect the talent.
Yeah.
He did amazing stuff. Everyone agrees he has done amazing stuff that no one else has been able to do previous or before. I mean,
and he's left an impact. Like movies that come after romantic comedies that come after Woody Allen
all follow some sort of
from his book, you know.
So but does that mean I want to hang out with him? No, but people
probably not.
Yeah, I mean, but people. So there's a generational gap. I think I was like, what would I talk to him about? But other than that, I mean, I don't see why you have to like the person in order to like what they put out, you know. And then obviously, if the person's horrible, then it's just like, oh, you know, I don't wanna,
you like the guy, and then you still kind of feel like a song. Then he plays. What if you like the guy, really like the guy, interesting conversation, he plays a song, you're like, oh God.
Dude,
I don't like
the amount of times that happens to me is unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but it happens all the time, dude. I meet so many people that I'm like, you know, what a cool guy, and then start singing, and I'm like, oh, they'll be like, I got this song that I really feel.
Yeah.
I want to sing it for you. And then they'll sing it, and I'm like, how do I put this politely now? I don't know. And then how are you on? I'm not honest. I'm never honest like that. Because I'm far too polite in that manner. I think in that respect, I place being kind above being honest necessarily.
Yeah.
I seem like, do I have to be brutally? Sorry. Do I have to be? I'll turn this off.
खैर अब आने दो, आपको avoid करनी पड़ेगी sound.
What, do I have to be brutally honest with everybody? I mean, why do I have to be brutally honest? Now, recently I was just reading something about it. You can there's honesty, you can be a nicely honest. Do you have to be brutally, like you have to beat someone down with some honesty? No, man. You know, if it doesn't require that, if you like the person, why would you be like, no, dude, your singing is absolute shit. You know, and I mean, obviously you maybe try to tell them in veiled ways, you know, they'll be like, okay, you know, temper your expectations, kind of do it for yourself type stuff. And I think, but I mean, I say that to even talented people.
But like,
I'll be like, you know, you're super talented.
Yeah.
That's a great song. But temper your expectations, first of all.
Yeah.
And just remember, there's you know, as long as you're enjoying it. Do you like the song? I'm like, do you like the song?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
That's all that matters.
That's all that cares.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, right? I mean, who cares if
people like it?
100,000 people don't get to watch this?
And we see too many times that, you know, like some guy is not so good in his first song, and then you surprise you by the 6th song or the 7th song, right? So you don't know where they're going.
The second thing that I tell them is like, hey, dekho, the likelihood of you writing a hit song on your first try, it's very minimal. Kaise hoga? You know, because you just like it's like winning your first car race ever. The first time you start driving on the road, you win your first car race. I mean, nahi hoga. You gotta get good at it, man. You gotta practice, just like anything else. So 1 out of 10, maybe. You could write a hit song, one hit song out of 10 songs. You write 10 songs though first. Maybe 20 songs, you'll definitely have 2-3 gaane jo ke like that's the Coke Studio formula, right? If you put out 30 songs a year, guaranteed usme se 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to hit gaane nikal hi aayenge.
How many songs did you do this year in Coke Studio?
I did 0.
You did none?
None.
None?
I was
going to say that I haven't been following Coke Studio this time around.
It's interesting you say that.
Why
is
is
that?
Yeah,
Also, you've been away,
I was
busy.
away.
I think
I've been
also,
avoiding social media generally.
It's also become with Coke Studio. Now that we're on the Coke Studio topic, let's talk about it.
Rohel Hayat is back.
Rohel Hayat is back, which is I think that's something that's everyone is curious and interested about. But I think if you hear it, you realize it's Rohel Hayat.
It's back to season 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's like season 6 if the other season hadn't happened. So this is the logical progression of how things would have gone regardless. Obviously, it's a little bit more time, so a little bit more progression has happened.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you know, Rohel produces the way he produces. And if you like that, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
No doubt. And then if you didn't like that before, you're not really going to be liking it this time as well. So, like, if you really like the string seasons, then... Oh, my God. Sorry. I thought I muted it.
It's fine. Yeah, so
then...
so why 0?
Why 0? Oh, yeah. So it started off, we were going to initially be a part of it. I was... Honestly, after the season before, I was a little burned out on the whole aspect of it. मुझे थोड़ी से वो anxiety होनी शुरू हो गई थी just thinking about it. It's the 30 songs, it's the endless rehearsals, and it's that long shoot and 12 घंटे के दिन, and I was starting to feel a little. So I kind of dropped hints to Rohel at some point, and then he called me in as well. I went to like one rehearsal, and then he was like, पहले यहाँ मैं कम करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, and I don't think we need like 3 guitar players at this point. So if you're really not feeling it, then how about I get you like a production side gig or something like that. And that sounded good to me.
Yeah.
So I took that. Now unfortunately the 3 songs that I did also were cut from the season because and a valid reason, and I had a feeling that this might happen anyways, was that they were like super hip hoppy, super modern pop sounding things.
Okay.
And
they're completely stuck in the mix with the old
very
Sufi,
old school. Well, I mean, they did Billo Ke Ghar. I mean, they did all these songs.
Yeah.
They did all sorts of stuff. They did pop music. They have done all sorts, like proper. It's actually sounding more pop than anything else. But yeah, I think it was a little too hip hop.
Rappers the beach में
there was rapping involved.
Also those
so
those rappers are no longer in the whole thing, or
no,
they got rid of all. Okay,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So I think it didn't fit the overall arch of the season. And the one thing with Rohel is that he has generally
big arc,
the big picture in mind, and then he works it down into, and then that big picture then trickles down into. I
found an interview of Rohel, random interview.
Is it the Harvard one?
He's sitting with some guy who's super smart, and Rohel's talking. I was like, this guy's a genius, like level of the way he's thought.
A lot of people have talked about that because. And see,
because the way he was breaking down frequencies and the way like he went into the history of how I was like, what is he that detailed about his thought?
And that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that once you've talked to Rohel, all the things that he does afterwards make complete sense, and you're like, oh, okay, wow. And then it's impressive. All those things that he say in that he said in that Harvard talk, I had, you know, chai peete hue isi kisam ki conversations, no? So then he has dived heavily into these ideas. So it's a philosophy, it's a way of thinking, and I think it's not just thinking, it's a way of living that he kind of, you know, he's been doing that. So there's a holistic measure to it. There's a little pseudo sciencey, but not obviously. It's not like it's not
spiritual.
It's very spiritual. So yeah, he's been on this trip. I mean, since season 1. I mean, he was on this trip from before, and I think that Coke came along and it kind of allowed him to pursue some of those ideas. You know, I mean, I think this season is officially the first season where it's being not on standard tuning. It's not 440 hertz.
430 aa gaya?
It's 432, I think. 444, 32. So it's almost half a step down. But
the intervals are the same, right?
Everything stays the same except the tuning of your instrument. But actually, even the intervals, he changes in the open tuning sometimes. In order to get a more... because a guitar, which is the truth, it's a compromised scale system, interval system. यानी कि थोड़ी सी चीज़ें sharp होंगी, थोड़ी सी चीज़ें flat होंगी, just to make sure कि वो consistently आप चीज़ें बजा सकें over the fretboard.
Okay.
But that's why you have, like, you know, those frets that are multi things to make sure कि उनकी natural एक बिल्कुल absolute tuning हो. Everything else is a intervallic kind of compromise.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and we as guitar players tend to have become accustomed to it. We're used to it. Especially most people in the West, तो खास तौर पे इसलिए यहाँ पे लोग जब गिटार के साथ अगर कोई क्लासिकल बजाने की कोशिश करता है तो कोर्डली उसको बजाना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है, क्योंकि वो अगर प्योर नोट्स ले रहे हैं, यानी कि कीबोर्ड विल हैव प्योर नोट्स, यानी कि द थर्ड इज ए प्योर थर्ड, नॉट अ कॉम्प्रोमाइज थर्ड, बट ऑन अ गिटार दैट थर्ड जो dissonance नहीं आती on a third or...
Is that why you do the little...
Well, blues players will find the pockets of where it sounds more like a natural human, which is why कहते हैं ना उसके हाथ में कुछ है. उसके हाथ में ये है कि वो microtonally एक pleasant note निकालता है जहाँ पे अगर if you're just pressing down blindly वो शायद उस पे ना असर हो. And it's not necessarily taught, but it's felt. और सुनने वाले को मीठा ज़्यादा लगेगा वो for some reason. But slide guitar players can hit that. वो tension नहीं है उनमें. So anything that's fretless can violinists can do the whole notes. Guitar will always sound a little bit off in certain places. And I think Ruhail figured that out ages ago while he was trying to find out कि उसका cure क्या है. He stumbled upon the physics of all of this, and then how desi music sometimes can't be justified with guitar-based music behind it because of these things. क्योंकि वो बड़े particularly आपको थर्ड पे जाना होता है. वो थर्ड अगर गलत लग रहा है और पीछे नोट कॉम्प्रोमाइज बज रहा है तो वो ऑफ लगेंगे. और you know obviously अगर आपको तो you know you have to find that. तो I think that he was trying to find how to make desi music sound good without the masters all of a sudden sounding off. क्योंकि उनका तो नोट पक्का आ रहा है. इतनी जो उन्होंने प्रैक्टिस की हुई है, they're not messing up the note. If it's sounding bad, it's because of the instrument that's being played behind it for the most part. And obviously
but
that's
a good
why
player will get it.
You can get away with that, and that's why the root and the fifth, the sa and the pa. If you just play that as a chord, there's no intervallic maslas. There's no compromise. Even on a guitar, the root and the fifth will always kind of be playable. It won't throw the singers off.
Wow.
So that's something we actually like try to fix.
Crazy.
Another thing that Ruhail taught me, it was like he's the mentor in so many ways. I mean, I've had a few, Ali Azmat being one.
Yeah.
But Ruhail definitely was like so it'd be like, you know, if you just play the how do you fuse music without ruining the Western music and without ruining the Eastern music. And he was like, hey, you have to focus on one more than the other.
Give it the precedence.
So then if it's, they see if it's Eastern, you give the Eastern the precedence. So if कोई भी चीज़ Western influence की वजह से उसको कम कर रही है, उसको आपको minus करना होगा यहाँ से. You'll have to minus that. So अगर if it means के harmonies won't work, then you have to minus the harmonies. So if you notice with Ruhail खास तौर पे harmonies minus हो जाती हैं. Obviously then everyone has a school of thought के how do you add an orchestral movement behind rags, and people in India have done it, people have explored that here as well. It's a different school of thought, but uske, from the Ruhail school of thought, the way he was approaching it was के minus it. ये ना हो कि एक चीज़ के दो चीज़ों के चक्रों में दोनों चीज़ें ख़राब हो जाएं. Keep at least one thing pure as in यानी कि give focus to that. And then, you know, so and I think people responded to it. They appreciated the spirituality uske andar jo aa rahi thi, just by simplifying things.
Yeah.
You know? And that's something I took to heart as well, even with Chantar Orchestra, you know, and then even Baba was like, you know, simple, but I'm definitely like simplify.
Yeah.
Ek bhum. Ek pulse of bhum. And I was like, that's it. It doesn't need to be anything more. Maybe we can add delays and effects to
There's
keep
no
it
bass
interesting.
guitar in Eastern music either.
There isn't
classical wise.
ज़्यादा low end नहीं है.
ज़्यादा
low end नहीं है. But even all this extended low end subsonic sound, this is a recent development. This is like 30 years.
Yeah.
उससे पहले कोई subwoofer would not be a, you know, like a overkill for most people. हैं घरों में थोड़ी subwoofer होते हैं.
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. It was
so
overkill.
Since you couldn't
just like a mid range and a tweeter type thing.
Yeah.
चाहे जितना भी बड़ा हो.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe a slightly bigger for like that, if you want to rock the place, you know.
Yeah.
Most people, it's like, oh, subwoofer is like overkill, dude. Why do you need a subwoofer?
Like I saw,
but it's become that now.
Raza Kazim, you know, like Sanjay Nagar is his facility's name.
Bilkul.
And he has these speakers that have no low end, but they're super expensive speakers.
They're like $1 million.
But he was playing things on it that didn't have low end in them.
Yeah.
Like he has these cassette recordings of when Faiz Ahmed Faiz came out of jail. Noor Jahan was waiting.
Wow.
And she had prepared Mujhse Pehli Si Mohabbat, Mere Mehboob Nawang. And he recorded it on a tape.
Wow.
On that spool.
Wow.
And he's playing those back. And those speakers have a water mill running through them.
Yeah, it's water-based something. I've only heard. It's legendary speakers.
He's like the rogue energy. He calls it the rogue energy.
Rogue energy?
Yeah, it's like
awesome.
The rogue energy. Gets rid of the rogue energy. I was like, whoa, what is this rogue energy?
What rogue energy?
So it's he says that's the, you know, if you stand behind a speaker, you hear this muffled nonsense sound. Yeah. There is nothing behind that speaker. All of that gets absorbed by the water. So the water is running so that nothing is produced in the backside of the speaker.
There is no rogue sound.
Yeah, he calls it the rogue sound.
Yeah,
you only get a directional thing from the speaker.
And nothing behind it.
Nothing behind it.
If you stand behind it, because you don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything.
Except for what's bouncing.
But I didn't go behind the speaker. I was
but
respectful.
You're assuming.
Listening, sir. Yes, you're correct.
You don't want to get caught in the rogue energies. So.
What if I get like sucked up by the rogue energy into the speaker itself? I learned music through YouTube videos.
Right.
And none of this shit exists over there. In my research, it hasn't showed up.
What?
It's all 440 tuned.
Oh.
You know, it's all in the DAW.
Yeah, and wait, I mean 440 is it may as well be 440. In my opinion, I mean, as opposed to make it a standard 432. Make 432 a standard. You know, if it needs to be, you know, but
it's just to coordinate people together, right?
I think generally it was just assigned 440 as a happy median. Some institute decided, okay, let's make it 440. It's easy to write and it's close enough to the true pitch of A. Apparently, the true pitch of A is like at 432 or something. Okay. It's a more
when you use words like true and pure, the science side of me kind of goes like,
is
what
it true?
Mean by true and pure?
True. Well, that's true. There is no. I mean, it's an arbitrarily designated frequency.
Right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
But for example, I think and these are all just like tonalities, I think, that the human mind has been dealing with over thousands of years. The concert pitch tended to be like really low. You know how like the volume wars happened in I think
the master bus compression shit.
There was a brightness war that happened back in I don't know how long ago, and this is something that I've read. Obviously, I don't know the exact details, and I'm not even sure if this is true. But it was definitely lower pitched. The tuning of concerts in Western music, the classical era, was lower pitched. But then someone realized that if I tune the guitar tune all the instruments a little bit sharper somehow, it sounds brighter, more livelier. So then apparently they started getting brighter and brighter, and so then people were starting to tune up and up and up slightly. So they play a classic tune, only they play it a little brighter, and people are like, so lively. You know, they could tell that it was a little, you know, sharper, maybe a little brighter. It was just a little effect of, even now if I play a chord in E tuned to 440 hertz, and then I slightly break it down, and that thing sounds a little deeper and a little darker. Sounds nice. It's like, oh no, yeah. I didn't make anything change. That's just the nature of that frequency. Yeah. It sounds a little bit different. Yeah. And anything played in that same thing played there will sound a little. One sounds more relaxed, and I mean that is, if you hear it, it's there. Yeah. Is it scientifically? I mean, it's arbitrary. I think it doesn't really kind of like do what thou wilt with the frequencies. I think is the game. If you enjoy what it sounds like at 232 better, then you should tune to it.
It's like when you listen to dubstep, you kind of go like, what the hell happened here? It seems like dissonant frequencies all mashed up on top of each other. Yeah. Just to create like a rhythmic sort of wub, 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 like that wub, wub, wub. It's almost like you can't identify that note. You know?
Yeah, it's not... but wait, those are just one
3x oscillators.
One note, to and like 10 different like things,
pitch shifters,
10 different things, and just you get it. Yeah. It's actually an art form that's beyond me, so I don't understand exactly.
So like I was trying to create the wob 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 once, and I opened a 3x oscillator, and the tutorial kind of went like, there's the low frequency oscillator that you put right at the end of it, but before you've got 3x oscillator, so you've got sine wave, saw wave, and like another sine, and each of them are slightly pitched, like not even a semitone, slightly pitched one way and slightly pitched the other in cents.
Really?
Like literally like itna, so that when you press it, it's like
nasty,
like, nasty fucking sound.
See, but I would say if it's raised and thing, that's almost like thickening that one bass note almost.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I mean, I've heard people say that you should try that technique with vocals to thicken them up if you're feeling your vocals are a little thin sounding. So they say make another track, lower it a few cents slightly, and then same playback, and then the same thing. Do another track raised a little bit slightly, in the sense.
It'll also sound like there are three people singing.
Well, the goal is to make that's why you're not. It shouldn't sound like three. It should sound like one slightly bigger voice. And I've tried. I mean, it
works.
I always had phasing issues, but I think you can just. Yeah, it doesn't sound like three different people. It sounds like one person singing in a bigger voice of some sort. Yeah. There's something to play around with. I mean, people do all sorts of. Up to DAWs ke saath, you can virtually do so much stuff.
Yeah.
That
you.
It's ridiculous that you can't complete a song because you're like, well, I can do this.
Yeah.
You just be so impressed with the fact that आप कोई भी चीज कहीं भी किसी तरह भी कर सकते हैं.
Yeah, you got a thin voice, no problem.
We can thicken that up.
We can thicken that up.
It's not a problem.
You got a whistle in your nose whenever you sing. A whistle comes out of your nose.
Some of these new drum modules that I've seen are incredible. I'll just play a couple of chords. You can press play on the drums. It'll find the rhythm and it'll play the fills. It'll play the crashes where you're changing parts and stuff. It follows along.
Oh wow!
I mean, I was like, wow.
You're using Logic these days?
No, Cubase.
Cubase always.
It's always Cubase. Yeah. But this was on a Logic
Oh, that must have been annoying to get your hands on it.
No, this was for Coke, and they were there. Some of the drum tracks were happening. There,
but you weren't operating the DAW.
No, I wasn't.
That's thank God. I mean, because
but it was
shortcuts are different.
Still magic, man. It's amazing how accurate some of these things are. You know, minor tweaks, and you've got a drum track there.
Yeah. Like I'll be singing a song on one of my vlogs, right? Like I'll sing on top of a pre-made track, and I'll put it through Melodyne, and I'll be like, God damn, it looks so bad. Like, why does it look so bad?
Yeah.
It sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
And then I put it in Melodyne, and I'm like, dude, that was really off, you know?
But does it sound better after it's been through Melodyne? I've made the mistake of just assuming that because Melodyne is telling me that it should be perfectly there, doesn't necessarily mean it should be perfectly there. I've Melodyned it and then realized much after the fact, oh no, you know what? The unmelodyned is actually
I always go too far better with Melodyne.
It may sound off, but at least it sounds natural. It sounds like a human being. Like if a good singer is singing, no one's gonna get it 100%. I mean, Melodyne is always gonna be like, oh, you missed that one spot, you know, and then let me
and
fix
the times where you're hitting a vibrato.
And then once you fix that, then you're in. Then you've committed to like doing the whole thing, because you can't just fix one note.
One thing,
Or फिर एक दफा कर दिया तो now, and then now the whole thing, you've got like this perfect singer who sang with all this emotion and everything, and now you put it on a grid and maybe lost some of that emotion. Oh, happens all the time. All the time, and I don't think it's too easy. Don't, you know?
It's also easier because
Melodyne it should be a corrective measure in case you cannot get a better take. You know?
Yeah.
I think it's become too much of a we'll fix it.
Yeah.
Because you can fix it, but.
Yeah, and also do you want to rehearse the song 60 million times?
Yeah.
Or to get your voice to a place where you can actually sing it well? Or do you want to just Melodyne it?
Yeah, but then, you know, I mean, if you can't sing the song well enough on the recording, then how are you going to play it live? How are you going to, you know...
If you're not going to play it live for a vlog?
I guess.
You know, like kind of like that?
Sure.
Like kind of makes sense sometimes?
Sure. Listen, I mean, if that is not your primary thing, you know, if that's an aspect of something else, then you know, you need to move on.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're known in the world as being like a singer and you're going to go out there and perform these songs, or if you want to be known as a singer and you want to go out and perform these songs, then man, get at least to that point where you can sing it nice enough for it to be heard by other people.
Or you put a tuner.
Or then then I will put a tuner on it. I mean, and dude, people ask for it. You know, they're not like, but tum tuner laga
But live mein tuner log use karte? Does it even work?
I'm sure technology is to that point, and I know people have that. Ali
Azmat doesn't do that, no?
No. Oh no.
He's raw.
Oh, totally raw.
Yeah,
I mean, you can hear it. He'll hit bad notes, but he sings with so much passion that you're like, it's okay. Those bad notes are fine.
Yeah, I could care less if he's hitting
dude,
wrong.
The early Junoon albums had lots of.
Yeah, you listen to them now because now we're so used to it.
The quantization and the thing, but I love those songs.
Yeah, same here.
I didn't find anything. I mean, okay, I was like, that feels slightly off. Yeah. Or that drum track didn't really work, or that, you know, what's happening there, or someone sang it offline. But
I was listening to this B-sides of In
the song's
Rainbow's
great.
Radiohead.
I'm not gonna hold that against the dude, you know. They went in, they recorded their stuff, and.
और अभी मैं recently Pensado's place ही देख रहा था और उसके अंदर this guy came, he had these old Motown records like, you know, like My Girl. He had those songs. So many mistakes in those songs. And he's like, I isolated the tracks and I heard the string sections separately and they were so off. But you put them together?
Sounds magic. Sounds magic, yeah.
Insane how that works.
But see, now we're missing some of that now because it's too easy to quantize everything and put everything on a grid and
you don't hear the human anymore.
Make it perfect. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a human being who's doing it. But I like mistakes. I think they also add character to a song or you know, just like, I mean, why do I like hearing people यहाँ बैठ के play before me? Because it's not a CD and they tend to, you know, कभी जल्दी start कर दिया, कभी, you know, those are natural things that happen in any field. I mean, you're gonna mess up.
Yeah.
but I enjoy that. I like to see people live because it's live. That means I see what they're doing. Sometimes they're, and otherwise if they're gonna play exactly the same that I hear on the CD, I may as well just stay home and watch.
Like Mikal Hassan's a perfectionist that way.
Sure, he is.
And like I remember this one time he was playing a classical nylon string guitar, and he was playing one of his songs. I think it was Sanval. And I went to this gig, and it was like one of those bad gigs, like a corporate gig, and the only people who really wanted to live was me and my friend. And we're like, yeah, my God! And everybody's like, "Oh, Chinese bande baithe."
The
like, what are these guys doing here? Inko to kuch samajh bhi nahi aa rahi.
God.
And he played one off note, and he went like, "Oh!" And he made a face, and he went like, "Ah, your hair is pain." He accidentally hit because this shit is
that's probably that was a hard one, but I guarantee you he missed more than that one note. He was probably played over it. No?
Yeah.
Because audience are much more forgiving than when we are on stage and realizing, oh, I missed that cue. Oh fuck, and then you catch up. And you make it, and then half the time people don't even realize कि आपने कोई गलती की है, लेकिन आपको पता होता है. And then you wouldn't have realized it.
I would have been like, oh, Mikal hit like a jazz note.
Jazz note, yeah.
I would have said jazz note.
He's playing jazzy, yeah.
He's playing jazzy. He's playing jazzy today, bro.
बड़ा jazzy हो गया आजकल. But wait, it's not a audience is much more forgiving. We tend to be a little bit. So that was probably, I bet he was working on that one riff and trying really hard to do it. And then he thought he had it, and then
he's
he
a perfectionist.
And then it was more. But see, at the same time, stuff like that is impressive to see live. So then,
you want to let go. You want to be like live hai? मैंने album पे सही बजा दिया था. Everybody knows I'm a great guitarist. If I play off, let's not make that face.
Let's not make that face.
You got to keep the smile running.
You won't see John Petrucci doing it, and I guarantee he messes up certain notes. He'll flub stuff, I was
talking to Usman Riaz, and he's like, he did the prodigious tapping and everything, harmonics and all that stuff. And he's like, I'd be playing that. He doesn't play guitar live anymore, right? He's like, I'd be playing that stuff live, and I'd hear the mistakes, and people would still clap. I was like, why are they clapping?
Why?
So I just stopped playing altogether. I was like, I'm gonna make animated.
I'm not worthy wala jo ek that's
like,
guilt
no,
associated.
They clap because they clap because you're someone.
Yeah. You're on stage.
And because they know you're someone, so they go like, I like him, and it doesn't matter why if he plays well now.
I think I love that. I love people. That's why I like a band like Guns N' Roses. I recently watched them when I went to the Austin City Limit 2 days before the Junoon show in Houston. We landed in Austin, and boys had tickets, so we drove down from Houston to Austin, and spent like a day. The whole day we were at Austin Festival. So the Austin City Limits. So we saw the Raconteurs, who were I think
Jack Black,
Jack
White.
As far as favorite performers of the day, Raconteurs took it.
Yeah,
they were just. I was like, that's a rock and roll show.
It's also bluesy stuff.
It's just a rock and roll. So was Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses I enjoyed on a different level because here's a band that I listened to and decided I want to be able to do stuff like that. I want to be able to play a guitar like that. Was
Slash there? Slash was there.
Slash was there, and that was a major reason for why I did this whole career path that I ended up taking. But the Raconteurs I think were my favorite, and Jack White specifically. The guy can.
Yeah.
The guy's an entertainer.
Did you see it might get loud?
There's
this one scene where he's playing and he's bleeding on the guitar.
Yeah. Dude, what a performer! And then we saw Tom York. And
Radiohead.
So Tom York was
not Radiohead.
Was Tom York.
Okay.
Just Tom York, not Radiohead.
Not Atoms for Peace.
No. So he was doing his own
thing.
own songs. जो उसने solo albums में किए. And Ali Azmat is a huge Tom York fan. So he was like, and he's not so big on Guns N' Roses. So he's like, I'm gonna stay here, but they were overlapping. Guns N' Roses was about to start.
I would have gone to Radiohead.
I know you.
I would have come back for Sweet Child of Mine or maybe Paradise City.
I was like, I cannot miss any part of the Guns N' Roses show.
Did they do Civil War?
So they did everything.
Oh shit!
They did Coma. They did all the deep cuts, and they did some extended and all the big hits and everything. They played for like 3 hours, and Up to Babe, obviously, like they're on top of their game. I mean, they're
Still,
but they
had a fallout, like a
bad
7-year long album, Chinese
7 year.
Democracy, right? But
No. They broke up in this form. They have not been together since like 94, 95.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you caught
in this form.
Wow.
And I had seen them in 92 before they broke up.
Actually, you saw them earlier as well.
I saw them in 92, which was a long time
And you've
ago.
seen Radiohead as well, I'm assuming. You've never seen Radiohead and you still chose.
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, previously with Ali Azmat, we had tried to go watch Radiohead on a previous tour that we were on in America. And we got there too late. We didn't realize how far the stadium was that they were playing at, Radiohead. So we literally got to the parking lot when they were playing their second last song.
Oh.
So we just stayed in the parking lot. And bahar baith ke we heard the song. So I have not seen Radiohead, but that was the one time. And then when I had the opportunity to see Tom York, I chose Guns N' Roses.
I think Ali Azmat also
because
saw...
it's Guns N' Roses, I mean.
Guns N' Roses he also saw a little bit. Because I saw on his post.
Then he came. After he was done with Tom York, then he was like, okay, what
How
are
was
these
the
old
generally like
farts
the
about?
Junoon tour? What was that like?
Man, the Junoon tour was insane.
Because I saw some of the videos, man. That looked insane.
It was insane.
News पे आ रहा था.
News पे भी आ रहा था. There's no audience like a Junoon audience, man. I mean, I used to be a part of that Junoon audience, so I can relate. But people
this is something people probably don't know.
People had like their kids, and they were like, I met my wife, and these kids were born after because of this song. I cried.
Oh no!
So there was a lot of that, and then
Crazy.
wow, the energy, and then man, because Brian left when he left Junoon 98, 99, maybe 2000. So it's almost like 19 years since this version of Junoon hit the stage with Ashiq Ali and it's those three guys, Ustad Ashiq Ali, obviously integral part of it. But when those three guys are on stage, and I've felt it so many times, I saw them 7, 8 times now, from the complete different angle that I used to in front. But I would get goosebumps sometimes.
Yeah.
I would get goosebumps.
I haven't heard him playing on anything else.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, he teaches in New York, and I mean that he's basically just an educator, music educator. Brian is so deceptive, and if you look at his fingers, ऐसा लगता है कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा वो. Then you listen back
the reason why
to what he's
paid attention to bass.
When you listen back to what he's playing, even now,
it's still amazing.
It's like just the right percussive.
दोस्तियाँ हो गई हैं.
दोस्तियाँ तो हो गई हैं. I mean, there is a I mean, Ali के साथ तो मैं कब से बट साहब के साथ तो एक अलग level की दोस्ती चल रही है.
Right?
Yeah.
What was it? Clash and Folk.
Dude, we toured the world. I mean, हमने separately सारा कुछ किया, लेकिन obviously with the combined energies, it becomes like this thing, And I think Bhatt Sahab felt it as well. He was like, this is bigger than us, man. It's bigger than all of us. I think we combined forces, and all of a sudden,
I mean, it took 19 years for egos to subside. Like 19 years.
Yeah. Well, 19 years to figure out that.
And maybe it's also that good now because you had a break from it.
Sure. And I think the world is different, and so there is a kind of, I think Ali and all the guys, they kind of thrived in that us against them environment. They were always kind of, against a situation.
Counterculturist, right?
They were kind of, always kind of, being like, okay. Yeah. So they were always part of that movement. And I think wo per se, it's almost, back, like, that you need to be, counter the situation that's happening. And so I think they kind of feed into that as well. It's just, and obviously egos, as hearts have softened over the years.
You have kids. Things change.
Yeah, things change. Yeah. So, and obviously there's a you can't deny that there's a money aspect. They're in the business of making money at this point, and that also is a huge aspect of it. But honestly, seeing the crowds, unka jo reaction is like, man.
Yeah.
And
which city was the best for you guys in America?
Hard to say.
Houston has a big Desi population.
Houston was great. That was the first show. Great audience.
Did you play at the Energy Arena?
Man, and I think all the shows went off really well, except my obviously perception of those shows are colored by मुझे कितना मज़ा आया था. So मुझे सबसे कम मज़ा आया था न्यू जर्सी शो में क्योंकि मेरी साउंड बहुत बुरी थी. And everyone kind of complained about the sound. For whatever reason, stage pe sound ka maza nahi aaya. So then that kind of threw off my whole experience of it. It was also really far away from the main, like, Manhattan side. It was more towards the Philly side. So a lot of Desis just couldn't make it out there. It was on a Friday. Also, logistically, there was, I think, more issues with that one show in particular. But still, it was, I think, if you had to chalk it up as it was a successful show. I mean, it achieved the purpose that that we were all there for, which is to entertain the crowd. The crowd was entertained. But then it comes to like personal brand. I had a lot of fun in Houston. I had a lot of fun in Dallas. I had a lot of fun in San Jose. Houston. I mean,
you knew the place.
And it's not just the show itself. The show is just 3 hours. No, it's the before and after as well. Oh, Chicago was great. Toronto was literally, they were, full on like rock star treatment we got in Toronto. There were people with like Junoon signs at the airport when the guys came. So it was like, wow. So they went nuts. There was a Junoon cruise. And so, the people with the VIP tickets got to go on a cruise with Junoon. It's intense. So, and I think Toronto, the freaking enthusiasm in Toronto is off the charts. वैसे तो हर जगह, मैं कह रहा हूँ, the audience, the guys who end up coming to these shows are like rabid. They're like proper fans. They were singing along to everything, sometimes louder than we'd be playing. So, वाकई में one memorable situation.
Amazing. Is it going to happen again?
I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah. Everybody got positivity out of it, right? So the chances of
that... everyone was happy at the end of the day, for the most part. Obviously. Yeah. Things happen on tour. But generally, I think everyone... Mera kyun guitar kam aa raha hai?
No, I remember this one, as you're talking about guitar volumes, I remember this one concert you guys did with Amir Zaki.
Yeah.
And Amir Zaki thought that his guitar volume wasn't loud.
Yeah. But because why? Why was that? Why did he think it? Because there was someone saying his guitar was...
No, he started thinking it. You could see it on stage that he's like, kya scene hai? Volume nahi aa rahi. And we were like hearing it really loud, and he had this big amp.
No, he was loud on stage.
He was really loud.
He was very loud on stage.
And then we said he's not loud enough, and then he turned it up.
Someone in the audience said, "Oh, you're not loud enough." So then he kept turning it up.
We're just picking on him.
That was unfortunate, but
But that tends to happen with guitar players. They turn their volume up.
Yeah.
Leave it to the mixer, man.
Yeah. No, but honestly, अगर आपको stage पे अपनी आवाज नहीं आ रही guitar बजाते वक्त, तो it's so hard to play.
Yeah.
Like if you're not feeling it, but the trick is to kind of I've learned the hard way is the trick is not to turn up. It's to get your monitoring right, get a hold of someone who can fix it. Always have your monitor यहाँ पे mixing. The volume on stage should be this low. Yeah. We've just started applying it here. ये PSCC में 2 shows किए हमने. Jimi Hendrix experience किया. Anas.
Yeah, I heard about that.
It was great. And Chand Tara and Sounds of Karachi just played last night, 2 nights ago at the PSCC as well.
Oh, you played there as well? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So
you're playing a lot live, huh?
These 2 shows. Yeah, these 2 shows. I came back and I was like rehearsing for these 2 shows and then did it. Now we're easy, but I mean
live.
Live is
less studio time.
But I love playing live, and the more I get to play it, the better. Studio time.
You shine in that. I remember I was at this Ali Azmat concert, and Ali Azmat's felt like he was gassed out or something. So he's like, Omran's going to so he went like Omran, and then for 10 minutes, it's just you going with your tones and the language.
Really?
Oh my God. You can entertain someone with 10 minutes of guitar playing.
Did I do that? I don't remember.
You did 10 minutes, man. And I was like, whoa. And it kept surprising me. It was like, how many tricks is he going to have?
Oh, no.
It kept surprising. So,
wow.
you shine in that type of a place. For sure.
Yeah, give me the space and I'll do it. But then I don't need to. If the requirement is there, I feel like, okay, let's pick it up a little bit. Let's make things interesting. And then I'll start doing stuff. But my goal on stage is not to be the guitar player.
And you could tell that as well.
Yeah, my goal is to be like, if someone says solo, then I'll be like, okay. And then I'm like, how long? You know? And then with Ali, he doesn't have to say how long, because he'd be like, as long as you want. Right? But would just be like, just do it, man. Jitna bajana bajao. So with Bartsab, I knew, okay, I can just, jab mood hoga badal denge, you know? So, but usually my goal is to make interesting music.
Yeah.
तो वो अगर हो रहा है stage पे, great, and then if I can contribute with guitar playing, sure. If someone's singing amazing, then I'm not going to be like, अब मेरी बारी है, you know, but let me play, you know. It's not like that. If I play, great. If I'm not, at least I'm making sure the music is there.
Gracious guy in that way. Like, I mean, I remember I went to.
No, he loves it. He's like, if it was up to him, he's like, all of you just, you know, bari har gaane mein solo lo. I'll take a solo too. Everyone's gonna take a solo.
And as a music listener, I enjoy that.
I love that.
Like, I was like, oh, solo baja raha drummer. Uski bari, uski bari.
The freedom to do that, and the fact that he was like, यार ये गाने बजा के उसी तरह मैं तंग आ गया. मैं अब हर बारी जब भी हम बजाते हैं स्टेज पे, I want it to be different. यानी कि आप कोई preconceived notion के साथ ना बजाएं.
That also shows your own growth as a musician.
Sure, yeah, I'm trying things work. He'll be like, yeah, that was good. And then he's like, नहीं ये कुछ कर ही नहीं रहे, कुछ करोगे तो पता चलेगा ना. So then we're like, okay, he's always constantly like, when you do something, you know.
What a guy, dude. So I remember like Lahore Music Meet pe I was going to play, me and Rachel made a little thing for the Lahore Music Meet, which was kind of teaching people about music and like how to make a song, how to put pieces together on top of each other, and then it becomes a song. And we decided to do Jazba Janoon, and I had my loop pedal, and Rachel was going to do sing the song. I was going to do on it or whatever. So I was ready, and then I come to this, and Bartsab sitting in front. I was like, of all people, I'm singing his song.
And he hates it. He doesn't not want to be pointed out in the audience like that anyway. So
I saw him and I went like, oh my God, Bartsab's here. And I knew that by the end of it, I'm going to have to, because right now I'm giving a lecture, I'm going to have to play Jazba Janoon.
Yeah.
So I was dreading it. And like, but he was laughing at every silly joke, stupid joke that I was cracking. He was just laughing. Big hearty laugh coming from him. I was like, chalo, he's on. And then I apologized before I started, in advance. And he was fine with it. And later on, like, he came, he's like, baat karenge, come over to my house. I was like, really, to your house?
Yeah.
And I was like, give me your number.
Yeah.
He's like,
exactly.
Then he secretively gave me his number.
I was
like shaking when I called him up. And then pretending like, oh, no problem.
Yeah. No. I mean, wait, going back to what we were talking about earlier, it's like he would much rather, and I've seen it as well, but the same thing is like, the more you're, Bartsab or sir, he's like, just, you know, you talk to him like anyone else, and then he acts like anyone else, you know.
Yeah.
And otherwise, things get awkward and kind of weirded out. Then he starts, you know, acting weird as well. Cause he's like,
no, I think I was pretty like
casual.
I hate it. I hate the nervousness was inside
initially
me.
To have to.
Yeah, and I hate it.
I've done that with Raheel. I've done that with all the heroes that I kind of grew, you know, watched growing up.
It's funny to hear you also had.
No, of course, everyone has it. No, everyone has it.
No, but when you're like, I'm not like, so for example, I'm not that accomplished a musician. Like, I bet you could play all of the Salman Ahmed solos if you wanted, exactly, even faster or slower.
Dude, but it's not about Salman Ahmed's solos. It's about Salman Ahmed's riffing. It's about his chord voicings.
Yeah,
his chord voicings are amazing.
Those major sevenths.
Just the inversions that he chooses, all things that sound just, there's just simple 4-chord songs, right? Yeah. But his inversions of all of them are
Yeah.
They're hard to
and that 12-string sound,
and those
the way
sounds
he
and
upstrokes sometimes, and the way he downstrokes.
So it's his rhythm playing, it's his overall songwriting, all the things that he kind of incorporated, the Desi feel and all those things that, you know, at the time no one really was doing. He kind of, you know, he was at the so. Maybe technically he's not as good as Faraz Anwar, but you know, ultimately I'm a fanboy of Salman Ahmed.
Yeah,
I'd rather hear Salman Ahmed play.
Same.
I love and appreciate
Faraz also plays death metal. It's a genre thing as well.
Yeah, but I love death metal. I mean, I
love death metal?
Oh, I mean, I love all the heavy stuff. I love all of that stuff. Yeah. But I mean, I found Salman Ahmed that when I was getting out of that phase and going back and listening to Hendrix and you know, classic rock, so फिर वापस I kind of went back and you know, and Faraz can play killer blues and everything. He can do that. It's just
that's when that happens. I'm just like, oh, Faraz is great.
He's generally amazing at any genre. That he can play anything. But given a choice, I would rather hear what Salman Ahmed is, because it just sounds. It's more like would I rather listen to Yngwie Malmsteen or Santana? I would always listen to Santana. Yeah. Given a choice. Yeah. It's not that I hate Yngwie.
Malmsteen's better.
From a technical standpoint, but not from a either. Well, what's better? Commercially successful, more influential. I think Santana is more influential probably. He started way before Yngwie, obviously, so there's a difference there.
Yngwie has this one album.
But I love Yngwie, my weekend. Yeah. But given the choice, and then there are days when I would be like, let me listen to Yngwie, you know, or you know, and then I'm not in the mood for Santana and everything. Well. But I think as far as like going to the concert, I'd be like, yeah, Santana's gonna be fun. I mean, I'm gonna have a good time there. Yngwie, you know, I can't take my wife there.
For sure.
You know, my kids will be like, what is this? Why are you making me listen to this? You know, but Santana, they'd be like, okay, you know, we can dance to this, but there's a little bit of, you know, something happening.
And they can say, oh, yeah, come on.
The Spanish influence there is obvious with my kids. But yeah, so that it becomes a more, you know, universally acceptable kind of thing. And not to say that Yngwie can't play Santana. It's just that Santana's the one who did it.
Sit in this?
Dude, Satriani, before Yngwie hit the scene, I was a fan of Satriani. I mean, I was the two groups are Steve Vai or Satriani.
Steve Vai, yeah.
And even with that, it's the more less probably technical, more bluesy of the two, which is Satriani. I like, even though maybe he's not as crazy or wild as Steve Vai.
Yeah,
I like tonality of Satch better. I like the musicality, the जो भी वो approach उसकी होती है. I always kind of liked. I learned Satriani stuff.
And Deep Purple, where is that set? I mean, Dream Theater. Sorry, Dream Theater.
Dream Theater. Okay.
Yeah. So I said Deep Purple.
I mean, with Deep Purple, say evolutionarily, it goes into somehow.
But those guys are like four of them that write the music down, and Mike Portnoy was crazy, and the guitarist was insane at the same time.
Once again, I completely respect their musicality.
Yeah.
Yani, it blows me away. कितने अच्छे हैं वो? कितने अच्छे हैं? और वो गाने उस तरह के लिख रहे हैं. It's honestly, it's beyond my scope. I don't think.
It's beyond your scope.
In the sense के
तो बहुत ही beyond हो गया ना?
In the sense कि yeah, it is. It requires a certain level of musical theory that I may have a cursory knowledge of, but it's not something. Since it doesn't appeal to me, it's not something that I've delved into. Na? Okay, you know what are the subtleties of all this? But I love prog music. I mean, I love Rush. I love all the 70s prog music. At the same time, do I want to be in a band like Rush? And I kind of was in a band like Rush in college years, but yeah, if you ask me now, no. I would much rather see people dancing in the crowd than being impressed by what we're doing. Which is what Rush fans are like. They're just like, look at how amazing they're looking at the fretboard. And the same thing with the Dream Theater fans. They're just like, look at how amazing they're playing. And I'm like, no, I want to see guys. I want to see girls especially. I want to see girls dancing and having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, that was, it it was born out of frustration after being in a prog rock band for like 9 years. And, you know, these guys would take 6 months to write one song. It would be like a 7-minute song. I loved it. And it taught me so much. You know what they say? They say, like, if you want to get good at an instrument, play with guys who are better than you. These guys were way better than me. Yeah. But for whatever reason, they had me in their band playing guitar. But it meant that I was constantly running after that. I got like odd timing. I was like, I don't know what odd timing is. I'd never counted in my life. No. You know, like, you know, I would count off a song, they would always laugh because I never realized when you're counting off, you're supposed to give the rhythm of the song, right? But I would be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's start. Oh. I was like, just do the count and start. You know, and they were just like, what are you doing?
The drummer
That's not the tempo.
Let the drummer do
it. Yeah,
let
the drummer do it. I would be like, 1, 2, 3. And then so finally it dawned on me. I was like, oh, it's the count off is supposed to be the rhythm of the song that you're supposed to be slow. 3 and 4 and that. Then you have to do it in that rhythm. That's the idea. I didn't know that. So playing with these guys like upped my game, but at the same time it was all other, you know, other musicians in the audience. Like I would watch if there was any other band playing, there'd be girls dancing. It was the Doors cover band was playing. You know, all the girls are dancing and everything. And then we'd come on and all the girls would leave and a bunch of dudes would walk in and they'd be just taking notes and they'd be like, oh, now they're playing in this. Like they're talking amongst each other. Like they're not having fun. Yeah. They're not enjoying. They're just like looking at what we're doing.
Type of exercise.
Yeah. It's not even cerebral. It's like an exercise. It's you know, it's
like it's technique. Like watching someone gym.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's lifting
this is what they're doing. Oh, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then by the end of it, I was like, nah, yeah, I'd rather people just.
I had this back when I was in college. I've never been a skilled player of an instrument. I was going to say, so my thing was I was never good at an instrument.
You don't need to be technically skilled.
But my bassist was skilled.
Okay.
So what would happen is that he would play like he'd tapping stuff.
And then you do something.
And then I'd be like, I don't feel anything when you're tapping that stuff, you know, like. Yeah. So I wouldn't know how to explain it. He used to listen to this one bass player, Charlie Mingus, like a jazz bass player.
Yeah, famous.
So he had this one quote, and I was like, if I quote Charlie Mingus at him, he'll get convinced. So I told him, there's this one quote. It says, "Making the simple complicated is commonplace. Making the complicated simple, that's hard."
That's hard. That is.
So I would just constantly quote that at him. I was like, Mingus says it. Come on, Mingus says it. It's not just me.
Yeah.
So like he would just like play like. Find a spot where he would do. I mean,
the Coltrane quote, I think, is the most important thing. He's like, making a mistake is not a big deal. Being technically proficient is not a big deal. It's the attitude of the motherfucker that's a big deal. So if you're not playing with passion, it doesn't matter how technically proficient you are. I want to hear passion, see passion. If you're not giving it your all, if you're not giving your Ali Azmat on stage, you're not doing it. He's like, you're nothing in my book.
Yeah.
If it's all just coming out like from, you know, you're just standing there and playing, then that means nothing to me. But I want to see you like think. I want to see you like feel something when you're playing. You know, I take that to heart. When I see Salman Ahmed play, man, I feel something. I mean, I'm like, I know he's feeling something.
Dude,
those guys, all of those guys, all the greats, any musician that I like look up to, I can say. From the most technical to the least technical, someone like Kurt Cobain, who is, you know, arguably not such a great guitar player. And I'd say he's a great guitar player, great guitar tone in the Nevermind at least. He had a great guitar tone. And then purposefully, he had a
dirty.
He had a really kind of nasty kind of guitar tone, but that was on purpose.
Yeah.
But he had a great guitar tone, Nevermind. That was probably the producer's thing.
Yeah.
But he played it well.
Yeah.
His aggression came out. Yeah. His all those things matter, you know. And then even his solos that he played, they were emotionally charged, and they made sense.
Yeah, I remember the first few things that I learned was come as you are.
He's not a technical player, but he's someone who everyone learnt that one simple little riff.
Smells like Teen Spirit,
and you know, this was around the same time that, you know, Dream Theater released Pull Me Under as well, right around the same time. But I think a lot more people learned that one simple riff starting off, you know. I think that leads to influence. I mean, I think how many next level, you know, how many people you inspire to pick up, I think that is more important than how skilled you are.
Yeah.
It's important. I think it's good to be skilled.
Yeah.
And then if you can take that skill and inspire a whole new generation of fans and people.
That's impact. Yeah, that's
Perfect.
what you want. Impact, right?
That's, the impact. So, but if you can take 3 chords and inspire a whole generation of people, like, you know, Hendrix he was insanely complex, but it was just, you know, 3 wild thing, you know, down, 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 3 chords.
Yeah.
But that's what made him famous. And that's what he, you know, inspired a whole generation of guitar players to play that, you know, like down.
Speaking of that, I heard you use your teeth and shit.
For Jimmy, yeah.
Vasi was at your Jimmy thing, yeah.
He was
he said
inspiration.
there was another guitarist who was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
and then
Umran's
just chilling. And then his description was that Umran went like, Jimmy used to do this.
Yeah.
And then he did that. And then he did this.
Then he also did the teeth. Yeah, he also did the teeth. So I was like, let's do the teeth. But honestly, that's the first time I tried it.
Oh, on stage?
Yeah.
It's the first time you tried it?
I had never done it before. I saw Shani do it. And then I was thinking, before that, I was definitely thinking I'll do the behind the back thing. Because that's doable. I'd never.
What if it falls out?
But I hadn't done it. My backstage जब खड़ा हुआ था, I had my guitar, right? I was warming up a little bit, just kind of playing along with the stuff. जब वो शानी बजा रहा था on the Jimi Hendrix gig, so I just kind of went to the side. I was like, I wonder if I can do it. So I just kind of lifted it up behind my back. Oh, I was like, हो जाएगा. Okay, I kind of just went like that. I was like, okay, yeah.
And then on stage,
then Shani did it. I was like, oh, bastard. Bastard stole the trick. But then I was like, it's a Hendrix gig. Of course he was going to do it. Everyone's going to do it. It's expected. So he did it, you know, and obviously the crowd went, crazy. And then I was like, okay. And then I was thinking, ab ye karna chahiye, nahi karna chahiye. I was like, chalo kar dete. I was like, you know, Shani's done this already. Lekin it's a Hendrix gig, so I'm sorry, I'm going to do it as well. So then I went back, and then I was like, okay. And then I was like, you know, apart from the back thing, you also do the teeth thing. So I was like, oh, it's time to try the teeth. So then, and it sounded horrible. It just made some squealing noises.
He said it sounded great.
Well, I don't know. Just making squealing noises with my teeth. It wasn't.
That's what he did too.
Hardly a musical thing, but it was fun. It was fun to, you know, and
I guess you guys didn't do that one trick that he used to do, which was dip his bandana in acid and put that.
No, we didn't do that. That would have then I may have ended up like setting fire to my guitar. Then I would have been upset about that afterwards. शायद उस वक्त मुझे अंदाजा ना होता, लेकिन I would have been really upset if I did that. I ain't burning no guitars. That's
more gigs coming up.
More gigs planned. I think in the next couple of weeks we're definitely going to redo a CTO show.
Okay.
I think this last one went really well.
CTO.
It's Chantar Orchestra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was great. It was like a great experience. And I think the best thing about it is that we do like 2 दिन की हमने rehearsal की, 1 घंटा बजाया. It's like they're like really fun, easy songs to play, but they feel great when you're playing them on stage. Partly because I think it's all about the simplifying it.
Yeah.
I produce aspects of it.
Well, I mean,
we're moving in directions, but we kind of moved away from the ambient. It was very ambient initially.
Yeah.
Almost all improv. And then when I joined the band, I was like, yeah, I want it to be a little bit more concise, maybe. And then that started leading into more like driving straight beats. So this Swedish guy was there. He's apparently like an opera singer of some sort, and he's I believe he said he was a journalist. I'm not sure. Johan. Obviously his name was Johan. But sorry Johan, if you're listening, if you end up listening. So he says, okay, you guys were doing like this spiritual music, but it was on the scale of like anthemic rock, like almost like an AC/DC feel, like it's meant to be played in a stadium feel, but lyrically or philosophically, where you're approaching is from a very spiritual, because it's all Sufiana, right? So we've got the Sufiana thing happening, but we've got like this driving, and he captured it very well, and he kind of threw it back, and I was like, yeah, that's a great way of putting it. But that's kind of the direction we're going in. It's almost like a Billy Idol or a straight kind of driving beat rock and roll thing going, with like, and Sherry can sometimes sound very much like Deep Purple, Ian Gillan style, those kind of vibratos, like. So it literally feels like I'm playing in a classic rock band sometimes, with like super deep Sufiana lyrics, which is great for me.
Interesting.
I love. It's the first time I kind of in a very long time I played through a real amp. I done it through. I did it with the Jimmy as well, but that setup was not nearly as nice as Omer Dar was kind enough to lend me his amp, which is a Friedman amp, and that just had the right tone. So yeah, I really enjoyed playing. So I'm like, yeah, I want to do that again. So I think maybe more live stuff should be happening. I'm hoping, but the way problem is कि मैंने तो ये show नहीं set up किया, but we need to ask the guys who set up these shows, and they're like, यार फट जाती है करते it's not easy. It's hard just doing the setup, just the getting everything.
Was that PSCC or what?
It was at PSCC.
How hard it is? I mean,
that's
I don't want to take away from his
but
job.
yeah, that's everyone who's done it has said कि यार it's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Oh wow.
It's tough.
It's tough because it's the first time.
It's possible, yeah, maybe, but I think that it's tough that it's at the end of the day not worth it. Usually, the amount that you end up making is not worth the hassle that you need to go through to get it done.
It's the hardest part is to get them to be passionate, the people who set up the show, because they don't get to be seen on stage.
Sure, but money talks. If people were making money off of this, like decent money, I think it would happen more often. But right now, it's a do-it-yourself type thing. So now, if you want to build a fan base, आपको इस किस्म की चीज़ें करनी पड़ेंगी. And I think एक दो और भी venues मैं सुन रहा हूँ खुल रहे हैं. अगर if it becomes commercially viable for people to go out and listen to music.
What's missing in the commercial vibe? People are not buying the ticket. Is that the problem?
Ticket, yeah, लोगों ने तो खरीदे हैं. People will buy.
The price of the ticket. That's it.
It's people will yeah, if you can do that, and provide a quality night, and meet the expectations or go beyond. I think that's kind of but I think both the nights, no one complained about the content of what was played. Jimmy ke raat pe bhi nahi, and I don't think the people who paid were satisfied with what they got. So yeah, I don't know what's missing. Numbers, I think. More consistency.
It was packed, I'm assuming.
It was for the most part. Yeah, it was for the most part.
भर जाता है, आराम से.
यानी भर ही जाता है. But yeah, it's still ticket printing and all that. I mean, I know it sounds like how hard is it to put up a 300-seater show?
I'm just thinking like if there's a workflow to something, like it's like me making my first vlog was hard.
Sure, and then it gets easier. Obviously, the more you do it, the more you figure out that this works, this doesn't work. Streamline that.
And you give yourself that much time for learning.
I think वो partly यही होता है कि लोग
immediately
करने से पहले खत्म हो जाते हैं वो कि यार अब नहीं होगा.
Immediately पैसे के लिए नहीं करना चाहिए. I mean, you set up good Salt Arts. I don't know. I think they're making money. Not quite sure.
But they keep making money, but they also up their games as well. They kind of do bigger, and then they've definitely. But I think they've come across and they've done it consecutively, which is hats off to them, because very rarely does that happen. कि एक चीज़ शुरू हुई है and it keeps going musically in this city. कि live shows होते जा रहे and they keep doing it. So it's great that they've kept it up. I think 3-4 और लोग अगर उस तरह करना शुरू कर दें तो we've got a music scene.
Okay, great. Is there anywhere where people can access this place and buy tickets, or is it just follow Omran?
Follow me on Twitter, Omran Shafique. Do a search. Instagram पे भी आजकल मैं highly active हुआ हूँ.
Yes.
और कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि मैं हर चीज़ को capture करूँ. To much to my own disappointment. Now I'm the guy who has to document everything. Like the guy, I make fun of Mooroo all the time about this. Yeah, you're constantly filming everything, so stop it.
Well, this you have.
Now you've rubbed off on me. Eventually, I'll be vlogging and doing all the. I can't do the twitching stuff. That's a whole nother.
Yeah. I mean, you don't play video games.
No, I don't play video games. But I think मेरा तो वो situation start वहाँ से हुई थी कि I was playing Wembley, and I was like, when I came back, I was like, yeah, I have like one picture and one like little video of the whole experience.
Yeah. But like photographers around?
They are, and they send me pictures, but it's not my own personal. And there's so many things that happened, that weren't captured. Yeah, like a cool picture while I'm playing. But utni kitni istemal hongi, and they usually take pictures either sound check or while I was playing when the lights are nice and I'm in the middle of something, those shots. But there's so much that happens before the lead up to it, and then the show, and then the post, what happens, and the wind down.
Did you film that?
I filmed a lot of it.
Let me know if you need any help.
I will need help.
Yeah.
I've gone through my phone and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with all this?
It's that sorting part of it that takes so much time.
So much stuff, and I was like, oh no, this is gonna suck.
Sorting has to be done.
Yeah,
I don't even view it till I've sorted it. Because if you keep viewing it, you lose the pleasure of watching it again.
Yeah.
And then,
oh my God.
Because you want to still have pleasure while you're sorting.
So you just sort it as in, this is good stuff, this will be good. Or
yeah, so I put it all on the timeline on an editing software.
Oh,
and that's the first time I watch it again. I don't rewatch it before that.
That's a good tip, ladies and gentlemen. Follow that advice. That's a good piece of
so let me know, I mean, if you need it.
No, I'll definitely need it because I'd like to start off with, but it's been a fun experience. I think I'll keep doing it.
Amazing, and I hope I get to see one of these Junoon concerts that you're doing.
Hopefully, one of these days. यहाँ भी होंगे, I'm sure.
I tried to make it to Houston, but
man,
I was a few days earlier.
You were there. You were almost.
I would have had to wait in Houston for 5 days, and then I told you I had a train spotting experience. You didn't want to stick around after that one.
I'm leaving. Nito, didn't you go anywhere else? You went somewhere else.
I went from Houston to New Orleans, from New Orleans to Philly, Washington, New York. I went till New York. That's where you went. Yeah, but then I didn't do Canada or anything.
You weren't in around when we were in New York?
No.
Because we had a couple of people who were there from Hum TV.
You were playing in Houston.
Huh?
When I was in New York, you were playing in Houston.
Oh, cha. Yeah, very far from each other.
Yeah. But thank you so much for being here. And अब हम जा रहे हैं computer सही करवाने.
Computer सही करवाने, yeah. दोनों हम we have to go.
All right. I guess bye.
Bye. See you.